Everything I am about to show you is sitting in a Walmart right now, probably within a 10-minute drive of your house. 13 items, all under $4 each. Every single one of them is something Okinawan elders have been buying, growing, or trading for generations. These are not exotic superfoods you need to order from Japan. They are ordinary products on ordinary shelves that most Americans walk past every week without knowing what they do. Okinawa has the highest concentration of centenarians on Earth. The three leading causes of death in the Western world, heart disease, stroke, and cancer, occur there at the lowest rates ever recorded. Researchers have spent over 50 years trying to figure out why, and the answer keeps coming back to the same place: diet. Not a complicated diet, not an expensive diet, a diet built on simple, cheap, whole ingredients that happen to be available in almost every grocery store in America. I am going to walk you through all 13, tell you exactly what each one does, what it costs, and how we use it on my island. Some of these you already have in your kitchen. You just did not know what they were capable of. Before I start the list, you need to understand something about how Okinawans eat. There's a saying on my island, Nuchi Gusui. It means food is medicine. That is not a slogan. It is the foundation of how every meal is built. There is no separation between what you eat for nutrition and what you eat for health. They are the same thing. Every ingredient in our kitchen serves a purpose beyond the taste. The traditional Okinawan diet is roughly 58 to 60% vegetables, mostly sweet potatoes. The rest is soy products, seaweed, small amounts of fish, grains, and spices. Meat is minimal. Dairy is almost non existent. Processed food was not part of the picture until the American military bases arrived after World War II. The generation that lives to 100 grew up eating this way before any of that changed. The other principle is hara hachi bu. It means eat until you are 80% full. Not stuffed, not satisfied. 80%. That practice alone reduces caloric intake by roughly 20% without counting a single calorie. Combined with the nutrient density of these ingredients, it creates a diet that is low in calories but extraordinarily high in the compounds your body needs to repair itself and resist disease. These are not rare items. Every single one of them costs less than a coffee at Starbucks. Here they are. Number 1. Turmeric powder. Around $3.50 for 4 ounces. I covered this in a previous video, so I will keep it brief. Curcumin, the active compound, matched ibuprofen for pain relief in a trial of 367 patients with half the side effects. In Okinawa, we drink it as tea every morning. A quarter teaspoon with black pepper and a fat sauce. That 4-ounce bag lasts over 2 months. Number 2. Fresh ginger root. Around $3.50 per pound. Ginger is in everything we cook: soups, teas, stir fry. A meta-analysis in food science and nutrition found it significantly reduces C-reactive protein, one of the primary markers of inflammation. It also settles nausea faster than most over-the-counter medications. A single pound gives you weeks of daily use. Number 3. Sweet potatoes. Around $1 per pound. This is the most important food in Okinawan history. It made up 60% of all calories consumed on the island through most of the 20th century. The purple and orange varieties are loaded with anthocyanins and beta-carotene, two of the most potent antioxidants in any food. They rank low on the glycemic index, meaning they do not spike your blood sugar like bread or white rice. At $1 a pound, this is the cheapest longevity food on the planet. Number 4. Green tea. Around $2.50 for a box of 20 bags. On my island, the default drink is Sing Ping Chair, jasmine green tea. It is what we reach for the way Americans reach for coffee. It contains L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes calm focus without drowsiness, and EGCG, a catechin shown in multiple studies to reduce the risk of heart disease and certain cancers. 25 cents a day for compound the supplement industry sells in capsule form for $1 a pill. Number 5. Farm tofu. Around $2 for a block. Okinawans eat more soy than any other population on Earth. Tofu is a complete protein source with all 9 essential amino acids, rich in isoflavones that have been linked to lower rates of breast and prostate cancer in multiple population studies. One block gives you 3 to 4 servings. Slice it into miso soup. Stir fry it with vegetables or eat it cold with soy sauce and ginger. The American health industry spent years telling you soy was dangerous because of estrogen concerns. That claim has been debunked repeatedly. The population that eats the most soy on Earth also lives the longest. That is not a coincidence. Number 6. Miso paste. Around $3 for a 16-ounce tub. I dedicated an entire video to this one. Unpasteurized miso is a living probiotic food produced through a double fermentation process lasting up to 2 years. It contains Lactobacillus plantarum, one of the most studied probiotic strains in existence, along with enzymes, bioactive peptides, and prebiotic fiber. 1 tablespoon per day dissolved in warm water, not boiling. Boiling kills the bacteria. A single tub lasts 3 to 4 weeks. The probiotic supplement industry charges $30 to $50 a month for isolated strains in a capsule that may not survive your stomach acid. This does the same job for 15 cents a serving, and it has been doing it for centuries. Number 7. Dried seaweed. Around $3 for a package of wakame. Seaweed is in almost every meal in Okinawa. Wakame, kombu, nori. It is one of the richest natural sources of iodine, which your thyroid needs to regulate metabolism, energy, and hormones. Most Americans are mildly iodine deficient and do not know it. Seaweed also contains fucoidan, a compound that Japanese researchers have studied extensively for its anti-tumor and immune-boosting properties. A 2015 review published in Marine Drugs documented fucoidan's ability to inhibit tumor growth in multiple cancer cell lines. Toss a small handful into miso soup or any broth. A single package lasts weeks because dried seaweed expands to several times its size in water. Number 8. Garlic. Under $1 for whole head. Okinawan cooking uses garlic the way American cooking uses butter. It appears in virtually everything. The active compound is allicin, a sulfur molecule that forms when you crush or chop a clove and let it sit for 10 minutes before cooking. That waiting period matters. Heat destroys the enzyme that creates allicin. So if you throw minced garlic straight into a hot pan, you lose most of the benefit. Crush it, wait, then cook. A 2020 meta-analysis found that garlic supplementation significantly reduced both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. It also lowers LDL cholesterol and boosts natural killer cell activity, which is your immune system's front line against viruses and abnormal cells. 2 cloves a day, 1 head lasts a week. Number 9. Dried shiitake mushrooms, around $3.50 for a bag. Shiitakes are a staple in Okinawan soups and stir fries. They contain lentinan, a polysaccharide that has been studied extensively for its immune system activation. In Japan, lentinan is actually approved as an adjunct cancer treatment and has been used in clinical settings since the 1980s. That is not alternative medicine. That is a compound derived from a mushroom sitting on a shelf at your grocery store that the Japanese medical system considers effective enough to use alongside chemotherapy. Shiitakes are also one of the only non animal sources of vitamin D when exposed to sunlight. If you buy dried shiitakes and leave them gill side up in direct sunlight for 30 to 60 minutes before cooking, their vitamin D content increases dramatically. A small bag lasts a month because you only need 2 or 3 per meal, and they rehydrate in hot water in minutes. Number 10, apple cider vinegar, around $3 for a bottle. This one is not traditionally Okinawan, but the principle is identical. Okinawan elders consume fermented and acidic foods regularly as part of every meal. Apple cider vinegar, which the mother contains acetic acid and living bacterial cultures. A study in the Journal of Functional Foods found that consuming vinegar with meals reduced post meal blood sugar spikes by up to 30%. That matters because repeated blood sugar spikes are one of the primary drivers of insulin resistance, which leads to type 2 diabetes, weight gain, and chronic inflammation. 1 tablespoon diluted in water before your largest meal of the day. A single bottle lasts over a month. The diabetes drug industry generates $80 billion a year in global revenue. A $3 bottle of vinegar will not replace insulin for a diagnosed diabetic, but for the millions of pre diabetic Americans who are heading toward a lifetime of medication, this is the kind of intervention that could change that trajectory for the cost of a candy bar. Number 11, black pepper, around $2.50 for a jar. And most people think of this as a seasoning. It is not. In the context of this list, it is a force multiplier. Piperine, the active compound, increases curcumin absorption by 2000%, but it does not stop at turmeric. Piperine enhances the bioavailability of selenium, B vitamins, beta carotene, and several other nutrients on this list. A quarter teaspoon added to any meal that contains turmeric, ginger, or green tea amplifies the effect of those compounds significantly. Without it, you are absorbing a fraction of what you are eating. With it, everything on this list works harder. One jar lasts months and it costs less than a pack of gum. Number 12, brown rice, around $2.50 for a 2-pound bag. The traditional Okinawan diet includes small amounts of whole grains, and brown rice is the closest equivalent available at Walmart. It provides magnesium, a mineral that most Americans are deficient in, along with fiber that feeds gut bacteria and helps regulate blood sugar. White rice has had its bran and germs stripped away, which is where all the nutrition lives. The processing turns a whole food into a fast absorbing simple carbohydrate that spikes your blood sugar almost as fast as table sugar. Brown rice keeps the entire grain intact. The difference in glycemic index between white and brown rice is significant enough that a study in the archives of internal medicine found that replacing white rice with brown rice could reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes by 16%. A 2-pound bag gives you roughly 12 servings at about 20 cents each. Number 13, sesame seeds, around $3 for a bag. Okinawan cooking finishes almost every dish with sesame, sprinkled on vegetables, ground into dressings, pressed into oil. It is so embedded in daily cooking that most people on my island would not think to mention it as something special, but the research says otherwise. Sesame seeds contain sesamin, a lignin that has been shown to reduce oxidative stress and support liver function. A study published in the Yale Journal of Biology and Medicine found that sesamin lowered both cholesterol and blood pressure in hypertensive patients. Sesame is also one of the highest plant-based sources of calcium on Earth, which is critical because the Okinawan diet contains almost no dairy. The elders on my island have some of the lowest osteoporosis rates in the world despite never drinking milk. Sesame is a significant part of the reason why. A tablespoon a day on your rice, your soup, or your vegetables. One bag lasts a month, 13 items, all available at a single Walmart trip. Total cost if you bought every single one today, roughly $35 to $40. That is a one-time purchase that lasts you 3 to 4 weeks of daily use. Compare that to the average American's monthly spending on supplements, which runs between $50 and $80, or the cost of a single gastroenterologist visit, which starts at $300 before they even run a test. I am not telling you that buying these 13 things will make you live to 100. Longevity is not that simple, and anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something. What I am telling you is that the people who do live to 100, the ones researchers have been studying for over 50 years, eat these exact ingredients every single day. Not as supplements, not as powders in capsules, as food. In meals they actually enjoy, prepared in minutes, shared with people they love. The Okinawan diet is not a protocol. It is not a biohack. It is a way of eating that evolved over centuries in a place where food and medicine were never separated into different aisles. The fact that you can walk into a Walmart and replicate most of it for under $40 is something the supplement industry is not going to put on a billboard. Start with 3 of these, whichever 3 feel easiest to add to what you already eat. Use them for a month, then add 2 more. You do not need to overhaul your kitchen overnight. You need to start putting real food into your body and let your body do what it was designed to do when you stop feeding it garbage. Tell me in the comments which of these 13 you already have in your kitchen, and tell me which one surprised you the most, because I guarantee at least one of them is something you have walked past 100 times without giving it a second look. If you have not seen the other videos on this channel, start with the $1 tea that replaces anti-inflammatory pills. That is item number 1 on this list, and it deserves its own deep dive. The link is on your screen right now.